Hi viewers, good morning. This is Dr. Gunamani Jana and welcome to our video lectures on object oriented analysis and design, and this is the number 2, lecture number 2. Now, once we come to the introductory classes, we learnt about the details about the object oriented analysis concept. In this lecture, we will be studying specifically about the procedure oriented, object oriented, the concept of class, and also the various advantages of object oriented analysis. All the things we are going to study in this class. Now, coming to our procedure oriented, if you remember in our previous classes I told you that in procedure oriented, importance is given on, or emphasis is given on the algorithm or the procedures. See, if you see here, the main program is divided into a number of functions, function 1, function 2, 3, 4, like that number of functions are there only. Okay, that means larger the program, so more the functions we require. And this function, if you see, this is the function in the figure number 2, it is sharing the global data. You see function 1 with local data, it is sharing this global data, it can also share this global data. So like that, this is the function number 2, it is sharing also this. That means global data moves openly, it is available openly. Then this function only transform the data from one form to another form. So this is a top-down approach. This approach, it is a top-down approach, and we can clearly understand the entire program or the main program is divided into a number of functions. Okay, so these are the concepts on which this our procedure oriented it is working. Now coming to the object oriented concepts here, if you see the object oriented, the data is not openly or not freely move, it cannot move freely. You get it now? It emphasizes on the data, it emphasizes on the object, not the data on the so program is divided into objects. So you see, this is object number 1, this is object number 2, this is object number 2. This object is consisting of data and function, data and function, data and function, like that. Or this is function, this is data, make it upside down, it does not make any difference. And one object can communicate with the other through the function. You see, this function is communicating with this function, so this is object 1, this is object 2. Similarly, function of object 1 can communicate with function of object 3, like that they can interact. That, and we say that object is data plus function, object is equal to data plus function. Now the program is divided into a number of objects. That means previously we are dividing into a number of functions. No, it is not like that. Now the program is divided into a number of objects. Then this data structure, we can think about that it is designed like the objects and also the function operate on this data, right? So this is the concept. And mainly this object oriented programming we go for the C++, Java. Here we deal with certain things like the class, inheritance, function overloading, operator overloading. These are the concepts already we know which we deal, right? So then we move to the concept of class. Why this concept of class and object? Because in our object oriented analysis and design, the concept of class is very important for us, right? So now what we want to do, let us understand what is this object and what is this class. There are number of definitions are there by different authors and different things, but what I mean, object is a basic runtime entity. Object is a basic runtime entity. So in object oriented programming, say we can take an example like the person, a place, a bank account, all the things we call it as the object. And again we define object is a user defined data type such as the vectors, list, try to understand. Then if this is object, then what is a program? So so problem is analyzed as a object and communication between them. Entire program or the problem, it is analyzed as a summation of objects and communication among them, right? And they should match the real world objects. That is the main thing, because what we are going to do, we are representing the real world problem and through these object oriented concepts we are going to find a solution for that one. That is the program we are writing and getting a solution for that one, right? Then if you talk about these things, it takes space in memory and also associated with the address like a record. That means when a program is executed, data and code will be there, data and code will be there to manipulate this data. This is the concept, it happens there. Then what is a class? Then class can be thought of also a user defined data type, and the object is just like a variable of that data type. This is the concept of data object and class. Suppose we take the example of computer science. So computer science, I can take it as a class. In the computer science class, we can have objects like information technology, artificial intelligence, data science, artificial intelligence and machine learning, cyber security, how to big data. So these are the different type of specializations we are giving under this computer science. Then we come across some important things of the concept, because already I discussed about why we go for this object oriented concepts and what are the features, what are the advantages. In first let us understand the one of the important features is the encapsulation and also data abstraction. What is this encapsulation and what is its data abstraction? See, data abstraction, it is just like hiding the low level details and getting the important features, that we call the data abstractions. Okay. Then what happens here? So data is not accessible to the outside world, but only to the functions which is associated with that one. That is the concept what we want to talk to. So then this function, what is there in this object, it provides interface between objects, data and the program, right? And the insulation of data from direct access by the program is called data hiding. Another concept is the data hiding. Say we see electric cable is there and there is insulation is there. Why insulation is there? Because if you directly access through your finger and other things, you get an electric shock. So like that, what I want to say, the insulation of data from direct access by the program, it is called the data hiding. Then what is encapsulation? So encapsulation makes it possible for the object to be treated as black box for specific purpose or task, whatever things are there. So then try to understand, say I am giving some input function and I have to, or some information, then I have to get some output information also. So then how it happens? I have to pass through a system. In that system, data will be there, function will be there. So when I pass it here and I get the output, what is happening inside, I do not know. Okay, that is also the concept of this encapsulation. Then coming to the abstraction, it is just like the essential features without including the background details or explanation. You get it now? Say you want pizza, they only deliver you pizza, they never come and tell you, so we need these ingredients, we need these things and this is the procedure to make pizza, they never talk. So this is just like the essential features or representing the essential features without including the background details or explanation. Then where is the use? Class use this concept of abstraction. For example, say list of abstract attributes like the size, weight, cost and function operate on these attributes. This is there. So they encapsulate the essential properties of the object to be created, right? Then another concept, object oriented concept, that is the inheritance. Inheritance you will be seeing, just an example I am telling to you. Say suppose your grandparents, they having lot of property. Say then it is inherited to your father or parent, then it is also inherited to you, the grandson or the grandchildren. Like, so in this way, whenever we are creating object of a class, then what are the properties of this class? It is inherited to the object by default. Okay, it can acquire the properties of this object. Then what is the advantage? It supports hierarchical classification. For example, suppose computer science and engineering is an object of CS class. Then for this class, whatever the attributes there, so there must be a department, there must be some faculty, there must be some students, and there must be some courses for that one, there must be some program. So it is a 4-year or integrated 5 years, 6 years, like that all the things will be there, students will be there. So like that I can say, if CSE is an object of the class CS, then what are the properties of this CS? By default it is transferred to these things. That is the concept of all the things. Then another concept we are having, that is the polymorphism. What is the poly? Poly means more, morphism means form. So ability to take more than one form, we call it as the poly. Poly means more, form means you understand different form, polymorphism. So ability to take more than one form, that is the thing. Say you take an example, for I go for the operation addition. When I go for the operation addition, so when I take or I ask add two numbers 5 and 3, 5 plus 3 you get 8. But I say hello, good morning. Hello is one word and good morning is another word. But when I go for the addition, how can you add hello with good morning? Then what it happens? Then it go for the concatenations. So you put side by side and say hello, good morning, or hello, third year CSC students, good morning, like that. So another concept is the dynamic binding. This dynamic binding also is one of the concept. Here the purpose is that linking the procedure call to the code to be executed. This is called the dynamic binding. Then another important things in our object oriented, that is the message communications. What happens actually? So suppose you create a class and define all its behavior or the properties. Behavior. Then we create object from that class. Then what you do? We establish communication among the objects. So once a communication, a network is established between them, then they have to communicate. What they communicate, through which they communicate, we call it the message communications. Okay. So we can say here it is a network of objects, and what is the message then? Message is a request for execution of this procedure. Message is a request for execution of a procedure. So then how it is done? It is done using the message passing. For this message passing, you use the name of the object, name of the function, and also the information to be sent. All the three things you try to understand. What is the object name, what is the function name, and what is the information to be sent. For example, I take the college is an object and CS of 501. That means first one is the object and CS in braces 501. So this CS is a function, because since function is there with a braces, it will there setting, and inside what is that we are calling the parameter or the messages, whatever. So this is passing. Okay. So this object, whatever we are talking till now, so it has a life cycle. That means object is created, once it is over, then it is destroyed. And the communication is possible until the object is live. Okay. Then we see what are the benefit of this object oriented programming. So we studied some concept of inheritance. Through inheritance, we eliminate the redundancy, repetitions. Then we can build program for standard module that they can communicate, right? That is one of the things. That means instead of starting from the scratch, from the standard module also we can do all things. Then another concept is the data hiding. This is the to secure a program. It cannot be invaded by code from the program. That is the things, data hiding. That low level things are hidden. Then multiple object coexist, because object can exist, and in object oriented the program is consisting of a number of objects and they communicate each other. Then another thing is that partition of work in project, it is based on the subject. So entire program is divided into a number of objects. Then we can upgrade from small to big. That means it is scalability, we can increase the program, that is possible. Then software that is there, the complexity is overcome here. Then we can manage the software complexity. That is the important things. Then what are the application of this object oriented concept? Say real time and simulation and modeling we use. Then object oriented database also we are using all the things. Then hyperparameter, for this also we are using. Artificial intelligence and expert system also we are using. For artificial neural network or neural network we are using. Then we are using for data structures and also office automation, especially computer aided model and computer aided design. All these areas where you are using the object oriented concept. So thank you for attending these classes and listening patiently. And one more thing is that I request most of these people to attend the classes so that we can go for the practical sessions and we can insight or give more input on these things. Thank you once again. Take care of your health and please attend the classes.